First guest is joining me in studio, Mr. Michael Manahan. He's a spokesperson for First Global Financial Corporation, stock symbols FGBF. Mike, good to see you again.
Thanks. Always a pleasure being here.
You know, Mike, there's been a lot of news, and we're going to be talking a lot about real estate in this week's show, but there's been a lot of news lately about things seem to be improving in the real estate markets in various parts of the country. Your company is very involved in buying real estate. Tell us again what your business model is.
Sure. What we're basically doing is we're going in, we're buying distressed properties. These are commonly known as REO properties. They're properties that have been foreclosed on. They've gone to auction. They didn't sell at auction. They've gone back to the financial institution. Now the financial institution needs to get rid of those properties. What we do is we go in, we buy those properties. If the properties need to be refurbished, we refurbish them, and we put tenants in them and basically operate them as rental income.
Okay, so now, of course, a lot of this trouble started, you know, a couple, 3 years ago when everybody and his brother was becoming a real estate speculator, and they were buying homes for double their value, expecting that price to double again in 90 or 120 days, and that bubble burst. And this has created this massive inventory of foreclosed homes that you folks are targeting now?
And I'm not even sure massive describes the size of the available inventory of homes that are out there. It is just incredible. I heard of a deal the other day where a company was offering literally 500 homes for $5 million.
Wow.
I mean, this is a market unlike anything we've ever seen. We not only have the mortgage meltdown, but now we've got, combined with that, the huge number of people who've lost their jobs, and it's just meant thousands and thousands and thousands of people in this country have walked away from their home and their mortgage.
Well, you know, in any kind of distressing situation, you know, there's chaos, and, you know, I've always said that the Chinese symbol for chaos is the same as it is for opportunity. So in this chaotic situation, your company's found opportunity. But what I thought was interesting is you say that you're concentrating in the middle United States as far as your acquisitions. Tell us why.
Yeah, absolutely. The Midwest is kind of the central part of the country is where we're focusing. And we're doing that for a number of reasons. First of all, the East Coast, the West Coast, when prices were rising, they rose much more significantly in the coastal areas. The second thing is a lot of the new development there was a lot of new development in the coastal areas. They take a tract of land and they put in 5,000 new homes. Well, those homes have not yet developed into real communities. But in the Midwest, the growth has been a lot slower. And we're buying properties in well-established communities and at much, much lower prices than we could possibly buy either on the East Coast or the West Coast.
You know, it's interesting. You're exactly right, because there were some communities that were in the news recently in Southern California where the banks decided these unfinished houses in a tract, it was cheaper to tear them down than it was to actually finish them off and try to sell them. So you're going into existing home neighborhoods, so to speak. They've been foreclosed upon. You're buying them for bargain prices, I would assume, and essentially turning them into income-producing rentals.
Absolutely. Our target is to buy at what we believe is about 60% of actual retail value. So if that house was put on the market and sold in an orderly fashion, it would sell at 40% more than what we're buying the house for. But of course, our idea is not to resell that house immediately. It's to go in, do whatever refurbishment is needed, and find a tenant. And of course, with all those people who've lost their homes, guess what? They got to have a place to live. Sure. We've created in this country hundreds and hundreds of thousands of new tenants, and that's our market.
Now, the other thing that I find very interesting is you're not getting financing for these properties. You're paying cash.
Absolutely. You know, the banking industry still does not know what it's doing. And yes, there are some government programs, but they're very restrictive. The banks are still scrambling to try and figure out who they're going to lend to. It's a nightmare even dealing with them for individuals as well as for people who are in the business like us. So our decision was to buy properties for cash. That allows us to move more quickly, and it allows us to negotiate better prices.
Now, I know that your goal by the end of calendar year 2009 is to have 100 properties in your portfolio. Have you closed anything since we last spoke?
We have. We've just recently closed escrow on 2 additional properties. And so we continue to add to our inventory of properties. We're out there very actively looking at new properties, and as I mentioned, the available supply is tremendous. So there's lots to look at. And so, but you know, we're bringing them on in an orderly fashion. We want to manage these properties, get them refurbished, get tenants in there, turn them into cash flow machines, and continue that process slow and steady. And we're going to continue to do that with the goal of having at least 100 properties under management by the end of the year.
First Global Financial Corporation, FGBF, again, is their stock symbol. For more information, give us a call, 888-259-4449. Now, Mike, thanks for the update.
Thanks. Great to be here.